Kogan is not the only one having a good week. Investors have been trading in extraordinary volumes this week over on NAB Trade. To tell us more, we're joined once again by Gemma Dale. Gemma, welcome back to the program.
Lovely to see you.
What has everyone been trading? Why the excitement this week?
So it's all been buy now, pay later this week. It has been astonishing to see the volumes that we've had. And it's really... It used to be 3 stocks in the buy now, pay later space. It was Afterpay that everybody loved even 2 or 3 years ago. Early last year, so when Split It listed in January last year, Zip, Split It and Afterpay became this kind of trading cycle. We saw investors really excited about trying to pick a winner in that space. They were in and out quite actively. Afterpay's been held and bought by a lot of people over the last few years. So they've been a bit more committed to Afterpay, if I could say such a thing. They prefer to kind of hang on to it, and they kind of saw long-term growth there. They were happy to take it. What we've seen in the last couple of weeks is just this really, really active trading in an even wider range. So it's been amazing. Split It's come back in, Zip's come back in. So obviously this quad pay deal has been very exciting for people. They thought that was kind of thrilling. 3.5 million customers sounds quite meaningful. Being able to take a move into the US is very exciting for Zip. So we saw a whole lot of buying in Zip, really enthusiastic investors and particularly traders, I would say. And they've been rewarded, right? They've had a lovely week. It's been a lot of fun for them. OpenPay has come in, EML's in there, Flexi Group's in there. So we've just seen this really, really active group of investors and traders kind of getting into that space. What's been most interesting is Afterpay has been sold off. It hit $50. We had plenty of people buying in around that $8 mark when it absolutely collapsed. When everyone went, I think unsecured credit for millennials in the middle of a crisis might not be the place I want to be.
Jen, was
it collapsed and they bought it.
Money or retail money buying in when it got down to $8? Like, it's quite a brave thing to do, which not everyone has the foresight to do.
Our investors and traders were buying it very, very heavily at those prices. They're very, very attuned to the dips, so they're very keen to buy things they like when they come off, and so you see them piling into stuff that's been beaten up a little bit. Afterpay got beaten up a lot, and then it's absolutely rocketed back. We have seen profit taking all the way through that rise, but they've really gone, wow, $50 is great. I reckon I can take my money and run now, and they've been leaving it a bit.
Speaking of sectors that have had a tremendous rebound from very, very a sharp sell-off in March, travel sector. We've talked about Qantas in the other of the show. What's been happening in the travel space?
That's been really actively traded as well, which is fascinating. So we saw heaps of our investors, as I said, they're trained to buy the dips. They're really active and they watch things really closely, which surprises a lot of institutional investors. I know they're kind of like, Jesus, these retail investors are so on it. They move quickly, and it's not just the trading types, it's the ones who are sitting there going, I like Qantas, I've liked Qantas for a long time, I'm seeing it absolutely smash to pieces, I'm going to grab a little bit more. They've been doing that all the way through this period, and then we've just seen a little bit more activity this week. So it died away a little bit during May in our book, and then we've seen more activity this week, not as aggressive as the buy now, pay later space, but certainly a bit of enthusiasm this week for Flight Centre, for Webjet, and also for Qantas. Qantas is always the favourite in that group. Okay,
and they're predominantly buys in that space?
At the margin, yes, it's buys. It's not really strong swings to the buys. So CSL you were talking about earlier. CSL earlier this week when it was down around $280, it was a 98% buy.
Oh, there we go.
That's where our investors are like, we love this stock. We know it's going to be around. We love the company. We're going to buy it at this price because $350 was a little bit much for me, but $280 looks great. They might not be feeling quite so flash today, but maybe they'll be buying more. If I had to take a punt, I would say they'll be buying more today of CSL. When they see that price come off, they like to buy it. Qantas, they like to buy it, but it's kind of at the margin. You don't see that 96% buy, you'll see 54%, 56%, that kind of thing.
And Gemma, what are some of the interesting trades we're seeing from an international perspective?
So internationally, we're seeing really a strong swing back to the stuff that people know and love. So there's a lot of Microsoft, there's a little bit of Berkshire Hathaway. The trade sizes have really fallen on international markets, which is quite interesting. So we're not seeing people, this is quite typical of our base, they will enthusiastically rush after stuff when they see the prices come off. Now that things have, the Nasdaq's back above its record highs, they're kind of like, it's not as interesting anymore. I don't know if I need that as much as I did.
Talk about banking sector. Banks are having another ripper day today. What's the NAB trade client base been doing in that space?
There's been a bit of profit taking there, which is quite interesting, and the trading's been really mixed. The one thing that we see right across our book is that the bigger trade sizes tend to be on the sell side, and the smaller trade sizes seem to be on the buy side, but there's a lot of buys that are evening them out. So it's been quite interesting. Clearly a lot of our investors who were buying NAB and some of the others around $14, happy to take profits at 19. So they're going, do you know what, that was nice, I'll just get out or take a bit of money off to the side and maybe utilise it somewhere else, probably buying CSL. And so we're seeing quite mixed trading in those, mostly bigger investors taking profits, smaller investors taking the opportunity to still pick it up.
Okay. Look, Gemma, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us in studio once again, and enjoy your long weekend.
Yes, you too. Thank you.
Gemma Dale from NAB Trade joining us there.
Thank you, Gemma.